edition covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. 1 week of war, 7 days after a surprise attack on Israel. Local rallies and protests persist to protect civilians.
We got home because people were praying for us.
The latest on the Middle East conflict and the messages from people living right here at home. And a campus security crackdown. The Maryland College reopening this week after 2 people were shot on campus. Plus, we're stretching your dollar, the sweet savings ahead of Halloween, how to avoid financial fright.
The question will be, will our weather be as sweet? We had a lot of rainfall today. It's been really gray and cold out. Will we continue that into your Sunday? I have more details.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Ben Dennis this Saturday evening. Right now, DC police are actively looking for a man, calling him a person of interest. We're going to show this video right on your screen. The 16-year-old was killed back in September. Officials say that the shooting happened on Green Street in Southeast. That teenager died on scene. Police are now offering a reward of up to $25,000 for anyone with information leading to an arrest. Meantime, police in Prince George's County say that they have arrested and charged 3 men in connection to a fatal shooting back in March. 3 men were identified: 30-year-old Kenneth Gales of Riverdale, 33-year-old Marcus Chapman of Hyattsville, 27-year-old Josue Vasquez of Hyattsville. Police have charged them with the murder of 31-year-old Jarrell Thompson of D.C. Authorities say the suspects knew Thompson and he was shot during a robbery. And it is the 7th day of suffering in Israel and Gaza after last weekend's surprise attack by Hamas, the Palestinian militant group labeled as a terrorist organization by top U.S. officials. The U.S. State Department says 29 Americans are dead. In total, officials say 2,200 people have died since fighting broke out. Meantime, there do appear, however, to be no end in sight in the Middle East. Israel is preparing a ground incursion of Gaza after warning civilians to evacuate. But 6,000 miles away, right here at home, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside the White House today, some calling for an end to U.S. aid to Israel. Many Palestinian groups have long protested Israel's expansion in the region when it became a state. But tonight, students with ties to the Middle East are struggling to come to grips with the realities their families face thousands of miles away. Randy Bass is live on campus of the George Washington University in Foggy Bottom tonight with very real, emotional, and raw reactions from students there. Randy, good evening.
Yeah, Ben, good evening to you as well. You know, here on GW's campus, like you said, a lot of raw emotion and reaction from those students tonight. Many of them sharing very personal stories with us as they try to come to grips with what's happened over the last several days. And as many of us know, the college experience can be very isolating at times. Now, imagine that same experience, those same feelings of isolation compounded, exacerbated by trauma overseas, seeing what's happening to your family and friends back home. That's the reality for many students here at GWU, home to thousands of Jewish and Israeli students, many of them seeking comfort from organizations here on campus. Their campus rabbi also helping guide them through some of the events of the last week. Some of these students telling me they've been so shaken by events overseas and the climate here on campus that they haven't been to class in over a week. Students we met were hesitant to speak with us on camera, but they told us they felt it was the right thing to do. Shani Glassberg is a junior here at GW. She has family and friends in Israel. Here's how she's describing the last few days.
I feel powerless. I can't help my friends who are fighting for their lives right now, and it's horrible. They don't comprehend the loss that they've suffered just yet, and I'm trying to not to hold myself from crying. I see my mom and she can't eat, she can't sleep. It looks like a dystopian world, one that I've never imagined living in.
Yeah, a lot of raw emotion here on the campus tonight, a lot of anxiety and fear. I hope you'll join us later tonight for DC News Now at 9 and 10, where we hear more from Shani and students like her. We also hear from students and leaders on campus trying to make change. Live in Foggy Bottom, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now. Back to you.
Randy, thank you. Fairfax County Police say that they're investigating anti-Semitic flyers found in the Wolf Trap neighborhood. Homeowners are asked to review surveillance video for any suspicious activity. County police have increased patrols around houses of worship amid that ongoing war in Israel. While they say that there's no specific community threat, they will continue to investigate those flyers. And we're getting new perspective on faith and community out of Virginia in this troubling time. A group of more than 50 Virginians recently returned from a church trip to Israel. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla shares their story, how they safely got back to the States and what they learned from visiting the Holy Land.
It was a beautiful experience for Mass.
At Sacred Heart of Jesus Catholic Church in Winchester, Virginia, Father Bjorn Lundberg is reliving an unforgettable week. He and 56 others, including 7 family members, went to Israel to learn history, connect with their faith, and see things many of them have waited a lifetime to experience.
We were in Mass at the Garden of Gethsemane. It was a very spiritual experience. It was really amazing to be there.
And then chaos.
And during the Mass, I could hear explosions, and those turned out basically to be the Iron Dome working.
The sounds of hymns and prayers turned into the sound of intercepted missiles, the start of one of the most violent moments in the region.
I think if I didn't have a supernatural faith, I would have been more of a basket case.
As the group rushed back to where they were staying in Jerusalem, they observed from dozens of miles away the beginnings of war. Wayne and Cynthia White from Lake Frederick, Virginia, were part of the group.
The people in the street, there was traffic, honking of cars, not knowing what was going on, but the sense of urgency to get back to the hotel.
But as he was leaving a land where right now there is no shortage of heartbreak and violence, Father Lundberg says he felt the importance and the power of peace and of prayer.
We got home because people were praying for us. It was a sign of God's love to me.
A sign that people oceans away are thinking of those in harm's way. And now those prayers, first received by these Virginians in Israel, are now making their way back.
You really got to know them as people and not just as something far away on the television. And I just want people to understand that they need to pray for everybody.
In Winchester, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Max for his coverage. Meantime, new tonight, Bowie State University students will return to class on Monday with enhanced security after 2 people were shot about a week ago on campus. 2 19-year-olds were hurt at the school but are expected to survive. And this weekend, students will notice some of those security changes. Classes were canceled all this past week to allow for the community to heal. This weekend, students will notice added patrols, 24-hour security at campus entries with license plate readers scanning all cars. The guardhouse entry gate will close at 5 p.m. instead of 11 o'clock at night. And a 17-year-old boy from D.C. has been arrested in connection to the mass shooting at Morgan State University. Authorities also have an arrest warrant out for 18-year-old Jovan Williams, also from the district. He is considered armed and dangerous. Officials say neither suspect has ties to Morgan State. Both will be charged, we're told, with attempted murder. And a reminder that beginning today, several metro stations on the blue, orange, and silver lines will be temporarily closed on the weekends. It's part of a major repair project at the Stadium Armory Station. This weekend and next, buses will replace trains between Eastern Market and Minnesota Avenue, Benning Road stations. And then during the first 2 weekends in November, buses will replace blue and silver line trains only. That's between Stadium, Armory, and Addison Road stations. Metro says that all additional weekend closures will be necessary next year. Meanwhile, last week, Metro leaders held a public hearing concerning fare evasion. You've likely heard about this problem. They say fare jumping costs the system tens of thousands of dollars a year. The new bill also allows officers to give tickets up to $100 in D.C. We've got new details in the escape of an inmate at St. Mary's Hospital in Central Virginia. Take a listen to this. According to the State Department of Corrections, 2 officers in charge of supervising Nassim Rulak say that they were asleep during his escape back in August. The agency also said those officers did not replace Rulak's nylon flex cuffs with proper metal cuffs after he had an MRI. 2 officers have since resigned. Rulak is still on the run. He's also wanted for armed carjacking in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Keep covering that story on air and online, but over to your weather now for DC News Now. Derek Bowen in for Scott Sumner. Derek, it was just a gray, gloomy day. Please sprinkle in some hope for us here.
There is a little bit of hope that will come into the middle of next week, but until then, it is going to be very gray and dull and just kind of a little bit of boring outside. But all in all, it is relatively an okay day. At least it wasn't pouring down rain nonetheless. We have a temperature right now 62 degrees in D.C., but you see the gray skies, they even continued over into Hagerstown. Temperature 51, so about a 10-degree difference there. And with those temperature differences, we're going to start to see those winds kicking up quite a bit as we head overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Look at the temperatures back towards Luray, 64, 60 in Orange, 61. Moving over to Culpeper, 61 also into Fredericksburg, but a cool 48 in Martinsburg, going over towards Cumberland at 51 along with Kaiser. So definitely seeing some cooler air coming on in as we currently speak. We have, of course, that rainfall as well all across the region. Saw a little bit of clearing down to the south. They helped them warm up just a little bit more, but for the most part, most of us have been relatively cloudy for most of the day. We even got some more heavier rain back off towards the west that we'll have to contend with as we head throughout the evening. So far, we've seen over a half an inch of Hagerstown going over into D.C. at about 0.3 of an inch of rainfall. So seeing some very heavy rain all across the region, and we'll see more of that rain as we head later this evening. But hopefully by midnight, we'll start to see that rain taper off. Nothing in the D.C. Beltway right now, but back off towards the west between Hagerstown and Cumberland, definitely seeing some heavy rain.
Jackie, thank you. Much more to cover. Check this out. Video showing what's called a ring of fire solar eclipse that was seen across parts of the western U.S. today. While we did not see a full annular eclipse here in the DMV, there was a slight chance to see a partial eclipse around 3 p.m. But that rain certainly put a damper on your view, as Derek had just mentioned. Experts say that this will be the last annual solar eclipse that will be visible in the U.S. until, get this, 2039.